What is going on, everybody? We're back on it for the final time. Code Geass Season 2, Episode 25. The series finale episode. This is it. Oh geez, Siri just went off on my phone. Sorry about that. Okay. But yeah, this is it, the series finale. And we'll see kind of how it wraps up here. Where we left off last episode with a showdown between, Nunnally and Lelouch. I don't know if Nunnally just kind of submits to her big older brother and lets him kind of do what he wants. Does she really actually like try to oppose him? Does he have to use his Geass on her? Does he have to kill her? A lot of options that could happen there. We also left off with Colin looking to have Suzaku in kind of a checkmate move. Colin and Suzaku, they've been fighting back and forth the entire show. Each one is like slightly one up to the other, but no one has made like a fatal blow on either one. We'll kind of see how that plays out. Does one of them die? Do both of them die? Does nothing happen? You figure Suzaku's going to come out alive just because of the Geass command that he has on him. We also had all kind of the United Nations Chinese Federation hostages be released. Schneisel has been completely taken over. I can't see them introducing a new Geass this episode, having it be a factor, explaining what it is, and tie up all the other storylines as well. So I feel like there's just a lot of storylines, like character storylines, that need to be tied up. And we have one episode left to do that. You guys told me in Patreon or on Patreon that there is a Code Geass manga, but the manga ends at the exact same point, or it ends exactly how the anime ends. So there is no continuation. From what I've seen and heard, there is no season 3 or going to be continuation. So this is it. So I'm really, really curious how they kind of wrap it all up here. What ends up happening in the future with the world? What ends up happening in the future with all the warheads? Does Lelouch rule the entire world after this? Does like a dictator? Does he let the world do what they want and falls back in the background? What happens to Suzaku, C2, Colin, all the United Nations, the Black Knights? Does it matter what happens to Ogi and Valletta and some of the others? Anya and Orange Boy, and we just have a bunch of character storylines here that need some definition, that need some finishing. So after this episode is over, I'll spend a second recapping the episode, recapping the entire anime, and then kind of giving my final kind of thoughts on the anime as well, like where I rank it on a scale like 1 to 10. Where do I rank it? Like 10 being the best anime that's ever graced my eyeballs, 0 being like I regret watching it. And then we'll kind of rank it as I compare it to other animes, where it ranks in animes that I've seen and animes that I'm currently watching, and we'll just kind of go from there as we go. But yeah, this will be the final time. So if you've just been here for Code Geass, I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll stick around. When you guys are seeing this on YouTube, we should have started another anime by now, or at least 1 or 2 more. Because I'm finishing this on Patreon. This was going to go up like January 5th, whatever that Monday is after or that Tuesday is after New Year. So I'm going to start taking votes on animes and shows and Patreon only exclusives and YouTube only, and we'll just kind of go over that stuff. But let's go ahead and do it for the final time. Code Geass, Season 2, Episode 25. We're right at the turn, the final turn, as they have it. Pressing play for the last time right now. Here we go. Gino. What happened to that huge blast she had ready to go? They've got identical machines. It comes down who's the better pilot. And Suzaku also has the Geass on him as well, so what kind of upper hand that might give him, who knows. Is he finally going to get his girl? God, I hope Lord Jeremiah kills Anya. We'll see. Toto, where the hell are you going? Toto's been very disappointing the entire anime, by the way. I wonder if she'll stand up and walk. It's wild to see her eyes open. So big. Why does she have to ride hers like a motorcycle, but everyone else gets to sit? They're showing so many different political point of views right now. It's like, which one are you supposed to agree with? We've never heard this soundtrack the entire anime. Jeez, they're cutting to everybody to hear their political mental thoughts. Oh, Nina. Jesus. C2. Just hit her with it. We don't got time for this. Yeah, Nunnally, it's the same thing. What? Been completely washed. Got her ass. Unless she has a Geass we don't know about, which we don't have time to have Nunnally have a Geass and end everybody's storyline. Wow, she's really fighting it. Couldn't resist it though. Dang. Yeah, I haven't been a fan of Anya at all. Oh shit, my man's really out here on foot. Kill her. She's not gonna die. He's gonna take the Geass off of her. No, but can she? I don't know. I can't remember what Geass she got hit with and who she got hit with. Oh, her attack is deaded, and then his defense is deaded. Dang, he really can't beat her. They're flipping moving. Suzaku's voice sounds like Sasuke's voice actor, English voice actor. Oh shit. Did that hit his actual body though? Or just the machines out of commission? Did he die? I don't know. We're gonna find out. I feel like Suzaku's too big of a character to have did he or did he not die? Are you gonna grab that key or just let her snap out of it? Does he kill her or does he leave her sitting there? Well, she can walk, or she should be able to walk. She can't go down the stairs. If she opened her eyes, she should be able to get up and walk, but her legs probably haven't been used. There's no way she could stand up and walk. For some reason, I don't. I used to like really feel for Nunnally and like her character, but I. You just blow the whole thing up. Schneisel just chilling. I don't trust having his secondhand man sitting there still alive. I feel like they should kill him. I wouldn't mind if it ended just like this. Him just in dictatorship control. I'd be satisfied with that ending, but I don't think it's gonna end like that. Alright, we're halfway. We got about 8 minutes left. 2 months later, oh shh. It really is gonna end like this. So did Suzaku die? CEO of the Black Knights. He has them flipping just, oh wow. Wow. If it ends like Suzaku did die, I don't believe it. I don't believe he died. You just kill him off. I mean, he didn't die off screen, but he kind of did. You just have him die inside of his machine, and that's it. I really wouldn't mind if the story ended exactly like this. He assassinates all of them and just rules. But I don't think it's gonna go like that. Oh, what about Lloyd? He's not keeping a single scientist on you? I would have kept one of them. Is Suzaku really dead? I'm so glad that he got Anya. So this group right here is still alive, huh? Oh god, what's happening? Is this his plan? C2. Was this not part of the plan? Who is it really? No way a human moves that fast, right? Do they... It was part of their plan. Kill him in front of everybody. That was their plan. I would have preferred the dictator rule the rest of the world, some um emperor of the Star Wars type thing. He has to kill him in front of everybody. No one knows who Zero is. The fact that Suzaku was able to go through with it. And he's really dead. Wasn't like, let's stage his death, let's do a fake death, like we actually gonna kill him. Dang, he went around, now he's gotta live with right? He's not living for himself anymore. Killed his father and his best friend. Have something to say to Nunnally? What's this premonition vision she just got? How is she able to see that? Well, how was she able to see those vision premonition? Alright, he said he wanted to create a world of open dialogue where everybody came together. They all had the same enemy. This isn't good. Dang, even Jeremiah was in on it. That's a shitty life for Nunnally going forward. Because I don't think Suzaku can reveal that he's alive. She doesn't have anybody left. What happens to C2 now? That her code user or her Geass user didn't kill her. She's still invincible? All the evil deeds were blamed on him. I will say I'm very shocked with the little amount of deaths that we had. Orange Boy picking oranges. Like literally the only main character, I mean, besides Prince Charles and Rolo and B2, who were count the major characters if you want, but really the only character died we had was the main character. Everyone else got to live out their dream. Minus the debt that Suzaku has to live with for the rest of his life. Unless that man's not really dead. I don't know what we're about to show right here. No, yeah, what is C2 up to? And that's it. I wonder what happens with her now. Interesting. Dang, I mean, there's not going to be a follow-up there, really. I wanted to kind of see what, hold on, I'm going to scroll back to, we had a pretty good image there. That was their plan. Jeremiah was in on it as well, because I was about to say, y'all should really be able to shoot that man. I would hope. So he has to go around to 0 for the rest of his days. And it said for eternity, so is Suzaku now like immortal or something that we don't that I missed or don't know about, or what part of that did I miss? Um I mean, you guys are gonna fill me in, so I'm not gonna try to dive in it too much. Pretty much the only major death we had was the one of the major character of the protagonist. Boom. That was pretty much good. Let me put code Geass ending. Oh yeah, that was a big question. Was Lelouch the last person? Was Lelouch the person driving that cart with C2? I don't know. At the ending of Code Geass, the last scene showed someone whose face wasn't shown, which, yeah, why not? Either they didn't show it because it was that, like a hay farmer, and there's no importance of showing his face, or it could have been, but we're never going to know. We're never going to find out, you know? Riding a horse, pulling a cart with C2. I believe that it was indeed Lelouch who was previously stabbed, and that he had gained immortality because of his frequent usage of Geass. Do you gain immortality for frequent use of Geass? I don't remember that ever being. Lelouch's Geass first leveled up the episode when he accidentally ordered his sister Euphemia to kill all the 11s. Then his father, King Charles, was beaten by him, and I'm thinking King Charles' immortality was transferred to him. Interesting. Trying to see what people's responses are. It wasn't shown, but I do believe that it was Lelouch. That's why I want to have proof that Lelouch is already immortal by the time he was stabbed. I want to believe that that was Lelouch. That's just something we're never going to find out, because from what I've been told, it doesn't look like we're going to have a season 3 or anything like that ever or anytime soon. Judging by the amount of arguing I found while I was searching for the information contained in this answer, no official sources ever claimed that Lelouch survives. I think it's just supposed to be meant like that. Second, several official sources list Lelouch as dead. Here's an interview with the writer. That seems to be pretty strongly confirmed that at least believes Lelouch dies in the end. Doesn't have the final say. The director. Interesting. She does not hate her. Yeah, she's not able to show her true realization of her time with Lelouch, who was able to give and accept her, came to an end. Yeah, you guys that are like real deep into that. Then here somebody else says he is the cart driver, which is officially confirmed dead. Over the past 10 years, the creators of the show have repeatedly explained that Lelouch is truly dead. This was done in interviews, articles, tweets, live commentary, in the official guidebook, where they dropped the misunderstood hay cart scene and replaced it with C2, explicitly narrating to the audience that Lelouch is dead. Maybe he is dead. I thought that too for a second there. But then when they didn't show us his face, I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's just because it's a fodder NPC hay driver that we don't need, like, you know, confirmation on like who his face is or what any of that is. I guess the other kind of question I had, which I guess I can Google these, is Suzaku mortal? That's the first thing I typed in. With Schneisel about to fully gain C2's power and her mortality, Suzaku reveals himself as a regulator, negating Schneisel's ability, kills him with his sword. With Schneisel now dead, C2's powers are instead transferred. Huh? What storyline is that? Suzaku kills Schneisel and then, huh? Hold on. What was that? I mean, we could be here for what? Character outline, first season, second season. Oh, there's a Code Geass film? Okay. That came out in, Suzaku is believed to be dead by the blast, but reappears before the world as the new Zero. Now the despised tyrannical emperor of the world, as part of the plan for world peace. Requiem complete, Suzaku weeps silently as he impales Lelouch as he watches him die. Lelouch gives Suzaku his final order. Like, final order by just word of mouth, because he can't give him an order again then. But is the order to live, will that sustain him? Because he's going to wither and wear away. He has a human body. But again, that's a lot of stuff that you guys are going to have to kind of fill me out. As punishment for betraying his native homeland many years ago, And for all he has done, Lelouch tells Suzaku that he is dead from that day on and must continue to exist as Zero, the thing he fought so hard to kill. That's wild. Relinquishes his identity and the right to happiness for the sake of the world, so long as he lives. Okay, yeah, okay. Afterwards, Suzaku becomes Nunnally's protector in the following months, aided by Schneisel, who is still under command to obey Zero. Okay, so in this film, Code Geass, I don't know if I should be reading this because you guys might want me to watch the movie, but it takes place a year after the events of the alternate Universal Trilogy movies. Huh? Suzaku is escorting Nunnally when they are captured by whoever this is. Suzaku was imprisoned before the... Yeah, that seems like a lot of stuff. So it looks like he wasn't really made immortal. And then I guess my next question and my kind of final question is what ends up happening with C2? Is she just back to how she was kind of when we found her in the previously? She's still immortal and she can still kind of give Geass to others. Is that how she's just living out the rest of her days? I would guess. It seems like there's heavy debate on if Lelouch is really alive and all that. I think it was a pretty satisfying ending. I was kind of down for the dark ending with Suzaku. I mean, not Suzaku, with Lelouch kind of being like the Star Wars emperor, just kind of ruling over with a dictatorship iron fist. But you knew Suzaku's character. I knew there must have been an alternate plan because Suzaku's always been about not killing. I couldn't see their final plan being Lelouch becomes this all-hailing dictator who kills anybody who looks at them the wrong way. We just never knew as a viewer kind of what the final plan was. I would say the ending was pretty satisfactory. I think it would have been a little bit believable with some more deaths, given all the fights that we had and all this warfare and missiles and these transformers running around and these nuclear warheads that they just have kind of in abundance. Because even characters we thought dead didn't die. The only people that died in this story, I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna forget some. King Charles, V2, and Lelouch. Are those really the only ones that died? Those are the only ones I can remember, so I'm guessing the other ones. I mean, Ogi didn't die. No Valletta. Sayako didn't even die. Lord Guilford is over here. He's got a crutch. He's just hanging out. Lord Jeremiah's okay. Anya's alive. Like, everybody ends up living till the end. So I could have done with a little bit more of kind of like deaths. But it was satisfactory as far as kind of how it wrapped up and ended. And it was kind of that's kind of how a lot of storylines go with as far as animes and any kind of like superhero-ish movies. Like, it's the same kind of plot. Like, how do we get the world to like live in peace and not war? Like, how can we all have everybody agree upon the same thing? And we've seen countless different examples of how they try to achieve that in different stories and movies and animes. Give them all a common enemy to defeat, which, like we kind of saw here, Lelouch being that final common enemy. It's like, if we lived under that, imagine how bad it could be. Now that we have him defeated, let's kind of discuss how we can go on living and never have that happen again and live in peace. You've got the kind of pain from Naruto / Schneisel here, where it's we have a weapon that's so devastating. If you don't live in peace and don't agree to things, we could nuke you at any point in time, type thing. So, like, you get them to lead through having the same enemy, you get them to live through fear, or just find a ruler that they would all unite around, which was kind of what we had going there with Zero for a little bit. All in all, it was a pretty satisfactory story, though. I enjoyed it. I don't think I have it ranked higher than any kind of previous animes that I watch. I wouldn't rank it above Tokyo Ghoul. I wouldn't rank it above Naruto or Dragon Ball or all the other ones I'm currently watching. But I don't think I'd have it ranked above Hunter x Hunter or Attack on Titan or My Hero Academia. Which doesn't mean I'm like discounting it or counting it as bad. It's just it's only 50 episodes and it's kind of hard to kind of get into it. It's hard to compare something that has 50 episodes to something that has 900 or hundreds of episodes, you know. But it's still solid. Definitely season 2. The back and forth of always seeing Lelouch escape things with his Geass was great. Um, I wish there's kind of a more of a clearer explanation on kind of like the god figure that they were trying to destroy and the consciousness and unconsciousness of all humans and kind of all the originating of the Geasses and the code users and who does what and um, so some things were clear and a little bit unclear. Um, the ending was good though. I didn't know how I wanted the ending to go, and then I thought it was going to go one way, and then it didn't. Um, that's wild. I'm trying to remember how many animes I've actually watched where, like, in the end, the main character doesn't end up like becoming king or ruling or leading. At least the ones I finished and watched. I think this is the only one where the main character presumably um, dies, but it's not like he died and failed and came up short of his goal. Him and Suzaku came up with a plan with a goal. I wonder if C2 was filled in on it because it looks like Jeremiah was. Um, and maybe others were as well, but I think it might have been just Jeremiah and a couple others, and that might have been about it. It's not like he died short of accomplishing his goal, and that's how the story ends. Um, he died. He had to be he had to die for his plan to succeed, and it did. Um, solid anime. It was there were definitely slow parts. I remember in the beginning, I think in the first maybe 10 episodes, I was like, wow, this is really slow and dragging. I wonder like if it's going to pick up, if it's something I'm going to get into. Um, the introduction, season 2 definitely kind of saved um, the anime as a whole for me with the introduction of Rolo and V2 and seeing the king and trying to find out who's who and what can we get away with and all the new technology. What I wish we would have gotten is more kind of explanation on the machines and the work and the things that they can do and not do and um because like we just hit the scene with them, you know. Suzaku was in his white nightmare from like the beginning and we didn't really get specs on like what a nightmare is, what makes it so different other than like it was like in a more updated model. And every time we saw like Colin or Suzaku, they were doing something new or had wings or had this, had that. It was a lot to kind of keep up with and digest because they never really gave you much specs or details on the machinery. Because we spent more time with like the political and who's backstabbing who and who is under Geass and who's not. Um, I'm trying to think of all the Geasses that we actually got introduced to. We had Lelouch's, he can give you any command, you'll obey it. We had Rolo's being able to freeze those around him. He doesn't stop time, he just freezes others around him. We had Lord Jeremiah who was able to un-Geass, kind of this Geass exorcist. So if you had a Geass placed on you, he could take it off. We had Charles who was able to rewrite your memories with whatever he wanted. And then C2 at one point had a Geass that made people fall in love with her. And then we saw Lelouch's mother have a Geass ability to transfer her consciousness into others. That I don't even think she knew what she had until she died. And then we had Mao who could read your thoughts. And I think it was just about those 6 or so. Everybody else we saw, B2 and then C2 later on, were just code users. We didn't really see what their any kind of abilities that they had other than immortality. For the most part, it was a solid anime. I'd rank it out of a 10. I think I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Good, solid anime. It's one of those that's not very like I could have. This is something you could spit out in 2 weekends, 2 or 3 weekends. So it's not if someone was like, "Hey, check out Code Geass." It's not one of those like, "Oh, it's intimidating." Like if someone said, "Hey, check out Naruto, check out One Piece, check out Dragon Ball," you got to commit to hundreds of episodes. This, you know, it's short, sweet. You can get in, get out, and make your opinions on it, and kind of go from there. So that is going to do it with Code Geass on the channel. You guys that are really kind of deep into Code Geass, if there is movies, which kind of made it seem like that, what we had on the Wikipedia. If there are movies, or you guys let me know, has there ever been a discussion about a season 3 or a continuation? If there is kind of any news or any news that surfaces, of course, let me know. That's something we'd kind of jump on and do. And we'll go from there. So Patreon members, I'm going to speak to you guys on giving me some suggestions on animes, TV shows, movies. I know people want Demon Slayer, and they want Yu Yu Hakusho, and people want Alchemist, and people want The Mandalorian. So I'm going to get a list from you guys, and I'll have YouTube vote. We'll have YouTube exclusive, Patreon exclusive, and let's kind of keep up with all that. But that will conclude Code Geass for the channel. Rest in peace to our man Lelouch. He was always one step ahead. Great. I love seeing the mind. That was definitely one of those where like he always seemed to have the upper hand, and it was rare that he got overtaken, and he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish, you know? And he didn't have to lose really anybody along the way. So it's good to see solid anime. Go ahead and end it from there. Like, share, favorite, subscribe. As always,